So I'll start my talk by singing one of my songs. It's called "The Stars Are Shining Through," and I wrote it for a very close friend when I found out that his mom had died of cancer.
It's time to lift your head. Open your eyes. Let in the light. Here, hold my hand. Let's see you stand. We must stay strong. Continue living on. The time has come to set aside the fears, the lies. It's time for us to fight. No tears are left to cry. The stars are shining through, the sky is blue. The storm has passed, we're free at last, free at last. We're free at I know it's hard to make a new start. I know it seems like we're not ready, but don't you see that we'll never be if we stay here? What's left is misery. Stars are shining through, the sky is blue. The storm has passed, we're free at last. And even though, my friend, you think I might be lying, I'll be there till the end. We have to keep on trying. Stars are shining through, the sky is blue. The storm has passed, we're free at last. We're free at last.
Thank you. So, hi everyone again. My name is Dorotėja, and I have a passion for music. And today, I'll talk about change and how it helped me find this passion. I started singing when I was 3 years old.
We imagine.
When my brother's choir director heard me humming something backstage. Apparently, I was good for a 3-year-old, and she offered to teach me. I began taking piano at the age of 6 from my singing teacher's mom. This I absolutely hated. Piano was the lesson I would always avoid. I'd try anything from forgetting my notes at home to hurting my finger at school. We'd then usually sit down with my piano teacher and have chocolate with tea. Those were the lessons I enjoyed the most. I didn't give up though, and that's kind of the part that shocks me. Sometimes I look back thinking, why? Well, it wasn't because my parents forced me to stay, if that's what you're thinking. Actually, they had a very interesting technique. Every time that I'd complain about piano, they'd say, okay, don't go. I'll call the teacher tomorrow and tell her you're quitting. And that's what stopped me. It's funny because now I think that if during those moments my parents would have said, you have to go, you have to play, the stubborn thing that I am, I would have probably quit right away. But I didn't. I stayed in that pop choir for almost 10 years, practicing piano for about 5 minutes every week at home. Back then, I didn't even know if I wanted to pursue a career in music. Maybe that's because being a musician is not considered a serious career choice. Maybe it's because everyone, except my parents, seemed to think that I was too little to know what I want to do in life. I just want to be a baby. But I think that the main reason was the presence of two people I like to call Billy and Bob. So let me tell you a little bit about Billy and Bob, because I'm sure each one of you knows them personally. Hi Bob, hi Billy. I'll start with Bob over here. Okay, so let me tell you a little bit about Bob. Well, Bob, he's the big guy. He's the one who sits on the couch with his Coke or beer or whatever, and he's middle-aged, so he thinks he's seen most of the world. And of course he's had dreams. Some of them came true, some of them didn't. So, well, I guess there's nothing left for him to do but watch TV all day. And he thinks he likes it. He likes things just the way they are. Bob hates change. And then there's Billy. Well, Billy, he's the little kid. He's the one that all of us were at some point when nobody told us that we can't do this or we can't do that, that we can't run around the streets screaming, which is extremely fun. I do it sometimes. Or like today when I was practicing my TED Talk and I was just walking down the street saying it out loud and strangers were obviously looking at me like, what are you doing? But the point is, Billy, he is unafraid of failure because he hasn't experienced it and no one has told him that a thing like failure exists. So he loves change. He loves the excitement of challenges. He thinks that everything that he tries out will help him and make him discover something. And Billy is always ready to try something new. So I believe that in life, everyone has their own Billy and Bob. They don't have to be actual people, but they are there, inside our head. And they are the ones who control the decisions we make in life. So every time that you want to make some big life decision, Bob comes along and says, wait a minute. What do you think you're doing? Aren't you getting a little bit too optimistic? What if something happens? What if we fail? And then, well, Billy, he's just jumping up and down by Bob's side saying, wait, sir, I have something to say. I think we should do it. I think we should change something. What if something amazing happens? What if we find something? And in life, we always choose one of them. We always choose whether we want to experiment or stay where we are. And depending on which one we choose, that is the one that eventually grows and overrides the other. Now the problem with Bob is that he somehow tends to be the winner. He usually grows as we grow. So as we get older and we're told, no, stay at school, get good grades, the Bob inside us naturally overrides the Billy. Unless we do something about it. Meaning, we make changes, we experiment, and we set ourselves new goals that we want to achieve. And that's exactly what I did. So basically, what happened with me was my voice broke at a contest in Latvia. Breaking a voice is like when you strain it really much. So like, I'm gonna move away the microphone. Like, you try to sing really high with like this tension, like, ah! Okay, sorry for that. And it broke. And the teacher couldn't explain why. I felt like I needed more advice, but I was afraid of changes. And then my mom somehow persuaded me to try applying to a music school. So we went there, and the teachers criticized me. They said I strain my voice when I sing. They said I don't have my own style of singing, that I copy others too much. I didn't want to go. I thought, no way am I going to someone who doesn't like the way I sing. But then my mom said, isn't that why you left? Because you wanted to improve? Well, these people see where you need to improve, and maybe they can help you. Well, she got me thinking, and she's my mom, so I went. And you know what? I really didn't like it at first. They made me sight read notes, which I was really bad at since I barely played piano. They made me sing, which I was also bad at since I never listened to it. But I started writing songs. This new experience at the music school, this new relationship that I began forming with music, led me to discover a talent that I didn't even realize I had. Suddenly, I wasn't just a singer, I was a songwriter. And that was more incredible than anything I've ever experienced. People often ask me, how do you write songs? Do the lyrics come first, or is it the melody? Well, the truth is, I don't know. Usually, when I write a song, there's this feeling inside me like I want to scream, but I can't. There's something that I just have to say, whether it's to myself, or to someone close to me, or to the whole world. And then I just sit down, and I start singing and playing. The first time someone asked me how long it takes me to write a song, I couldn't answer him because I lose track of time. I don't know how long I sit there. For me, it seems like a few minutes. Now I know that it actually takes me a few hours. But the hours that I spend writing songs are the shortest hours of my life. They are also the happiest hours of my life. And the only reason I found them was because I fed Billy, or I made the change. Another thing that I discovered through change was that I actually love playing piano. Changing music schools meant that I had to find a new piano teacher, and the one I got was absolutely amazing. He completely turned around my understanding of how I needed to play. And that led me to practice more and more. And now I can play almost as well as most pianists my age. So here it is, the story of my life, and the 3 things that I learned while living it. Number 1 is that other people can help you. And not only that, they actually want to help you. You just have to try to listen to what they have to say. And I do mean listen, because there is a difference between listening and hearing. Number 2 is that we all have a passion. You might not know it yet, but you do. It's there, hiding deep inside you, screaming even, pulling on the bars of your consciousness, saying, let me out, let me out. But there is a part of your life, named Bob, that's not letting it escape. And the only way that you can let it escape is through change. And that's the third important thing that I learned. The human need for change. Change is the thing we fear most because it hides the unknown, the unpredictable. It's the reason we fear death. But change is also the thing we need most. Change is how we evaluate ourselves, how we evaluate the past compared to the present. Change is extremely important, and the more you do it, the less you fear it. So, I want you to go out of this room tonight thinking about what you want to change in your life. And I mean really change. And I want you to write it down. I want you to tell your parents. I want you to tell your friends. Because when the moment, and that moment will come. Because when that moment of fear, when the moment of denial will come, and you'll think, I'm perfectly happy with my life. I don't need to change. There would be someone out there to pull you back, sit you down, and say, stop. You want this. You want something in your life to change. So you're going to go out there. You're going to find it. You're going to change it. And you are going to be brave. Don't be a Bob. Be a Billy. Thank you.